Hi everyone, welcome to day 9 of our challenge. This happens to be a Saturday, and I really want this practice to be fun for you. And so we're going to do a Saturday slow flow today. And I am suggesting, if you'd like to add some of your favorite music in the background, you could stop the video now and go find your playlist or your CD or whatever you're using for media, and just turn on some music that you like that'll kind of get you in the mood for a fun practice. So let's just begin seated and centering, taking a moment to sit quietly and just kind of be where we are, noticing the breath, noticing the body, noticing the mind, noticing the emotions. Taking a few moments with the eyes closed. Connecting with your breath. Maybe here inviting an intention into your practice. Sometimes instead of the word intention, I use the word context, bringing some context into your practice. And sometimes something doesn't come right away, and we can just imagine a little door left open in the heart. Maybe something will come to you during this practice at a later time, or maybe even later today. So leaving the heart space open. And if you did have some sort of intention or context, just inviting that in here. Let's take our hands together in front of the heart, and on an exhalation, bowing toward the heart. And then from here, open your eyes and move into child's pose. Separating the knees, sitting back, bringing your buttocks towards your heels, bowing the head. You can prop your head if the floor feels too far away. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Welcoming length and extension to your spine. This is a very humbling pose. It's always a good pose to start a practice with, kind of setting down the ego here, inviting whatever is to be here, welcoming your current state onto your mat. And we're just going to be flowing from here to cobra pose several times. So sitting back deeply on an exhalation, on the inhale that follows, gliding toward the top of the mat. You can spread the feet wide, take the hips down, and go ahead and press yourself up gently on an exhalation. And then moving yourself back to child's pose, sweep the feet together, sit back deeply. So we just came into cobra pose from the floor and we pressed our way up. I'm going to show you another way to do that if it feels better in your body. You're going to inhale, come forward, spread the feet, and just take your cobra pose from high position and sink the hips low. You don't have to come down first. Sometimes when the body's not quite warm or the spine's a little bit limited, this is a better way to approach the cobra pose. Draw the hips back, exhaling into child's pose, and just do a few more transitions on your own. Transferring weight forward on an in-breath, spreading the feet wide, taking the hips down. Coming back to child's pose, taking a few exhales there. Inhale, come into hands and knees, table position. Bring the feet right under, I meant to say the knees right under the hips. We're going to come into a side plank, shooting the right leg back. Stacking that right arm on top of the left arm. And then turning that left palm to face the right side of your mat. And bringing the arm alongside the ear. Just do a couple big sweeping rotations of the arm, bringing some mobility into the shoulder joint. And as that arm kind of comes into alignment with the side body, you'll feel a really nice big extension to the left side body, a big opportunity to open there. Bringing the arm back to a stacked position. We're going to come into thread the needle. You'll bring your right knee down and bring the right arm through the space of the left limbs, coming onto the right side of the head, sliding the hand forward, left hand forward, shifting weight to your right. You might keep your left arm where it is. You might start to move the left hand onto the hip, eventually maybe raising the left arm up, and eventually maybe catching the opposite side waist. So be where you need to be, a couple deep breaths. Taking the left hand back to the floor in line with the shoulder. Inhale, you're going to come back to that side plank position. And just for a little balance challenge, see if you can lift that top leg, feeling more of a half moon shape here. Using your core to hold the weight of the leg. Taking some deep breaths, inviting some heat into the body. A couple more big inhales. And then go ahead and find your way back to hands and knees, table position. And we'll try the other side, sending left leg back, finding the side plank position here, stacking the left arm over the right. And then those big sweeping rotations of the arm. Really reach out through your fingertips and also try to keep the arms straight if you can. A couple more rotations here. We're about to bring ourselves into thread the needle. So when the arm comes back up, you can realign the knee down, threading the length of the left arm through the right limbs, coming onto the left side of the head, sliding the right hand forward, shifting your weight to the left to access the upper back. Maybe keep your right hand where it is. Maybe decide to take it onto the hip, extend the arm up, and maybe cross the body, grabbing the opposite side waist to help you peel the chest toward the ceiling. Wherever you are, hopefully you're gaining entry to the upper back, and you're inviting those big breaths to swirl around. Good. Wherever the right hand is, bring it close to the shoulder line on your mat. Inhale back to your side plank position, stacking left arm over right. And from there, see about lifting the leg into kind of a half moon position, strengthening the core, supporting the weight of the leg. Try to create space between your shoulders by lifting the top arm and engaging the bottom arm down, and really reaching out through the extended aerial leg. Couple deep breaths. Welcoming that heat into the body. Come to the top of the in-breath, and on the exhale, find your way back to hands and knees, table position. Take the toes underneath. On an exhalation, extend the legs, downward facing dog. Don't worry about your heels coming down. What we're going to do is little pulses. On the exhale, attempt to bring your chest just slightly closer to your thighs. So exhale, you're just attempting to move the chest toward the thighs. Another way to think about it is moving the shoulder blades towards the chest, which as a byproduct brings the chest towards the thighs. And do this on your exhalations. The heels are lifted high like you're wearing stilettos. Exhale, little pumps and pulses to get the upper back opening. We all get really rounded in the upper back, especially in the winter months. Little pulses. The next time you exhale back, you try to kind of keep it in place there. Keep it in that nice open chest position and start to walk your heels. And as you walk the heels to the floor individually, scoop the belly toward the back. Massaging the backs of the legs by extending each leg individually. The next time you have your left heel down, you can keep it down and raise the right leg straight up behind you. Don't tilt the hips to do this, and take your leg as high as it goes. Take your left heel as low as it goes. On the exhales, we're going to draw the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, shoot it back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, shoot it back. Couple more, actually 3 more. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, shoot it back. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. From the lifted position, bend your knee and now rotate your hips, look under your right arm. On your exhale, you're going to cross midline and bring your right knee to your left elbow. Inhale, go back to that nice turned out position, looking under your right arm. Exhale, crossing midline, bringing knee to elbow. Inhale, turning out the hips, looking under the right arm. Do 3 more. And last one. Opening up and then realigning your hips, re-extending your leg, taking the toes down, bringing the knees wide and sitting back for child's pose. Grounding your head. You can always tuck your hands under your head if the floor is too far away. Take a few deep breaths here. Reach your arms forward. We're going to come into Parshva Adho Mukha Virasana, which means we're taking child's pose sideways. So we're going to move our hands, both hands to the right. And what we don't want to do is have our hips rotate. So keep your hips where they are, close to the heels. Start to walk your hands to the right. Align your torso with your right thigh. So you might need to lift yourself up and reset your torso down. And then you're going to find a nice opening to your left side body. That's all we're doing. I just want you to breathe into that big opening to your left side body. Big expansive breaths. So what we don't want to do is kind of lose the stretch by having the left hip come with the left arm. So create some dynamic action. Draw your left hip away from the left arm. You'll feel a big opening being encouraged there. Keeping the arms long, start to creep your hands back to center. And on an in-breath, move forward and reset up your table pose to prepare for the second side. Curl the toes underneath. Exhale, extend the legs. We're going to come back to the little pulses just so we get the chest really nice and open. So really lift your heels high. Don't worry about how close they are to the floor. And with each exhale, just dip the chest toward the thighs. Little micro movements, little pulses. It's not a big, gigantic movement. Think about your shoulder blades inserting toward the chest. And the next time you pulse back, try to keep your chest nice and open, hold it there. And we're going to start to walk the heels. As you walk the heels, keep track of the belly and try to pull the belly toward the lower back. The next time your right heel lowers down, keep it there. And raise the left leg straight back behind you as high as it goes. Plant the right heel as low as it goes. Good, couple breaths. Next exhale, you're going to pull the left knee to the left elbow like a plank variation. Inhale, you'll shoot the leg back. And you're going to do that 4 more times. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Twice more. Exhale, inhale. Last one. Good. Once you've shot the leg back up, you're going to bend the knee, rotate the hips left, look under your left arm. We'll coordinate this action with inhale. The exhale, you're going to cross midline, bring left knee to right elbow. Do 4 more of those. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Go back to the opened up position. Realign the hips, re-extend the leg, touch down with the toes. Take the knees down, feet together, and sit back for child's pose. Again, you can tuck your hands under your head if you need to raise the height of the floor. Be passive in your body here, let that go. Be with your breath. And as you stay anchored back into your hips are magnetized to your heels. Extend your arms forward. Your head doesn't have to touch the floor for the sideways child. Walking your hands to the left. Bringing the torso right on top of that left thigh. Coming down as low as you can once you align the torso, and encouraging the right side body to lengthen. So we want to keep the right hip back, pulled away from the shoulder. Deep breaths, and try to keep your head in the space between the arms, so you're centering the head. Inhale, you're going to walk it back, try to keep the arms straight. And then bring yourself to table pose. We're going to come into a few knee down positions, so go ahead and find a blanket. If you don't have a blanket, you can always double up your mat and make extra padding that way so that the knees, we're trying to pad the knees, have the support that they need. Doesn't have to be a thick amount of support, just enough to cushion the knees. You'll kind of tabletop over that, set up, curl the toes underneath. On an exhale, extend your legs. On an inhale, raising the right leg, and on an exhale, stepping the right foot forward. Take the left knee down. And now you're going to bring yourself up. We're going to take our hands in a clasping position behind the back. Roll your shoulders back. Try to extend the arms so there's no bend in the elbows, and open the palms wide like you're holding a brick, the wide aspect of the brick. And we're going to do little pulses, exhaling forward, inhaling back. And the idea here is not to jam the shoulder blades together. Think about the shoulder blades coiling so that the inner tips of the shoulder blades turn in toward the chest. So you're keeping some space open between the shoulder blades. Good. Now see if you can take reverse prayer. You're going to bring your hands, your fingertips together behind your back, and then bring your pinkies together behind your back, closing the palms and working the hands up the spine. And then continuing with the pulses. And if you can't get the hands to meet, then go back to clasping the hands. One more exhale here. You're going to sit forward on that exhale, just kind of sustain that nice big back bend, that nice left hip flexor opening, and raise the arms. Join the hands. Sometimes locking the thumbs together gives us a bit of a stronger position in the arms, so feel free to lock your thumbs together. Taking the blade edge of the fingertips back, lifting your gaze, and just taking a few big breaths here. On the inhale, lifting yourself out of that big pose, you're going to hinge forward over the right leg and pull the toes back so you're resting on the heel, your toes point up. Try to steer your chest to align with your right leg. Look forward, try to open the chest again. This is a runner's stretch, so you're feeling it in the back of your right leg. Exhale, bow over the leg. Try to iron out any creases in the back of the neck. Slightly traction the right heel toward the right hip socket. Be as passive as you can in the torso and in the skull. The next 3 exhalations, just see if you can bow a bit more deeply toward the leg. And try to really find the stretch happening in the belly of the muscle. If it's not in the belly, if it's behind the ankle or behind the knee, back off somehow, either raise the torso or soften the leg a bit. On your inhale, come forward, plant the foot, curl the toes underneath, and raise the left knee from the floor. From here, really connecting your chest with your thighs, sweep the arms back. On the inhale, coming into warrior one, raising the arms. Exhale, hinging over the thighs, sweep the arms back. Inhale, come up. 3 more times. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Once more, shoot the arms back, inhale the arms up, and now bring your hands to the floor. Try to make your way back over that prop. If you have a blanket, just try to clear it, don't get tripped up. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step over your propping so you can drop the foot under the knee. Lower the right knee and bring your torso up. Clasping the hands. Now go to the alternate clasp just to always challenge those habits in your body. Fully extend the arms like you're holding something heavy. Little pulses. So pulse forward on the exhalations. Again, it doesn't have to be a big, gigantic movement. And try not to just squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to take the inner tips forward. The outer tips back. Keep it forward with the next exhale and see if you can come into that prayer position, working the reverse prayer up the spine so that you're connecting between the shoulder blades. Only if you can get the hands to seal. If the hands don't seal, then the shoulders don't come back and we don't really have a good reason to do this. So go back to your clasp if you don't get the hands to seal. However, it's always good to attempt the poses because we don't want to just assume, oh, I can't do that. So always checking in. And then going back to your pulses. Good. Finishing here. Keep it forward. Raise the arms, lock the thumbs if you need to help straighten the arms and direct the arms back. Take the tailbone into the body, look up. Couple deep breaths. Come to the top of the in-breath. Exhale, you're going to hinge forward, rock back with your weight, pull the left toes off the floor so your left toes point up, and you're going to center your trunk over that left leg. Take a big in-breath here, lengthen the torso, exhale, bow toward the leg. Gently scrubbing the heel toward the hip. Three more breaths. After this exhalation, you can inhale your weight forward again. You're going to curl the right toes under to extend the right leg fully. With your chest really engaging into the thigh, you have nice support to sweep your arms back here. On an inhale, take it up to warrior one. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times with your breath, not mine. Maybe you're on a different rhythm. Last one here. Good. Coming all the way up, just to touch the floor and step back with the left leg, downward facing dog. And from there, you're going to lower your knees. We're going to come into Ustrasana. What's important is that the knees are padded, but that we also have the same height from the knees to the toenails. So make the propping work for you so that you're evenly propped. And then you want to find your knees in alignment with your hips. So that being said, I'm going to still turn sideways so you can see the arc of the pose, the back end of the pose. We're going to support ourselves with our hands coming to the hips, squeezing the elbows in, pushing in a little bit on the tailbone to adjust the pelvic tilt into that posterior tilt so we can support the back bend. And then little pulses on the exhales, you're just going to extend back. Little pulses. One more. Come upright, curl the toes under, keep going with the pulses. Good. Inhale, come up, and now you're going to have a little bit less contact. You're going to clasp your hands, extend your arms, go back to pulsing, exhale. This last one, you're going to stay low and maybe, just maybe, see about separating the hands, finding your heels, and holding the pose. That way, otherwise, keep holding the clasp and keep holding your fullest expression of the pose. Just 3 breaths. Good. Inhale to come out of it. Turn the toes back over and sit down on your heels, Vajrasana, sitting quietly for a few moments, dropping the shoulders. And go ahead and find yourself seated on the floor. So move any props out of the way. We're going to come into a flowing sequence from Dandasana, this pose right here. The Danda is the spine. The legs support the energy and the lift of the spine. So really activate your legs, press them into the floor. On the inhale, raise your arms. On the exhale, hinge forward halfway. Second half of the exhale, hinge forward all the way. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, place the hands behind you. Inhale here, exhale, pressing into Purvottanasana. Good. Have a seat. Come back to Dandasana. Inhale, raise the arms. First half of the exhale, concave lumbar. Second half, you can round the lower back. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, place the hands. Inhale here. Exhale, pressing up, Purvottanasana. Inhale, have a seat. Exhale, Dandasana. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, all the way. Inhale, raise the arm. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale here, exhale, press up, Purvottanasana. Inhale to sit down. Good. Shake your legs. We're going to do one hold on Paschimottanasana, one short hold on Purvottanasana. So inhale to raise the arms. Exhale halfway with concave lumbar, second half with convex. Pull back on the toes. You can always touch the floor if your feet are too far away. 5 breaths. Inhale, raise the arms to come out of it. And exhale to place the hands. If you find Purvottanasana is too challenging for a long sustained hold, you can modify with bent knees, grounded feet, and press up, and you'll have more time there in that pose. So sitting up tall, place the hands behind you, big inhale. On your exhale, pressing up, hold for 5 breaths. Beautiful. Have a seat. Cross your legs. Sit forward. Reach your hands out in front of you. Once your hands are as far as they go, start to walk them to the right. Let your head track right between the arms. A few breaths into the long left side body. Keeping your arms long, walk your hands back to center. And then keep going all over to the left as far as you can. Few breaths there. Head is centered between the arms. And come back to center and then creep the fingers back towards the shins to sit up nice and tall. Join the bottoms of the feet, grab your ankles, and just sit up for a couple moments in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. As you're ready, you can come onto your back, preparing for final resting pose. Once you're in the pose, let go of all effort. Try not to hinder the breath in any way. Just become a passive witness to your own experience as a body, as a mind. Feeling the effects of your practice. There's a residue of awareness that the practice leaves behind. Practice is a vehicle for presence. Moving through the physical tension, we can start to clear up mental tension. We can start to exist more presently. As always, you're welcome to stay here. And if you'd like to come out of the pose with me, you can start to invite small movement, gentle, deeper breaths. Eventually moving on to your side. And from there, finding your way to seated. And once you're seated, take a few quiet moments with the hands connecting right in front of the heart. To sit with whatever remains, whatever is left over. This practice is very much about editing what is not needed, removing what is no longer of service, so that we can be more fully present to what is. From the place within me that I know to be divine, I honor that place within each of you. Namaste.